everybody. My name is James Clem. We're coming to you live from Portland, Oregon. And I'm going to be talking a bit about this Fraulini 12-string guitar. This is the Fraulini Angelina model. They're built by Todd Cambio in Madison, Wisconsin. And this is one of his specialties. These are based on the designs of the Stella guitars from the 1920s and 30s. There's so many classic bluesmen played, such as Atlanta artists Blind Willie McTell and Robert Hicks, better known as Barbecue Bob, used these Stella 12 strings, and of course the great Leadbelly, Hootie Ledbetter, played a large-bodied Stella from the mid-1930s. That was his main guitar. Now these guitars, the main feature between a contemporary 12-string and the old-time Stellas is the long scale is very important, 26.5 inches long. It allows you to tune the guitar lower, much lower than standard pitch, like the original blues players did. Now, those guys would usually tune down to as low as C. Sometimes they would go as low as B or even B flat. But C is kind of the territory that Blind Willie and Leadbelly used a lot. And when I say tuning down to C, I don't mean you tune to an open tuning. Most of you know this, but you use the same intervals on the guitar, only you just tune it much lower. In this case, to get to C, it's 4 frets lower, 2 whole steps. So when you play an E chord, you're really in the key of C if you're playing with other musicians. So another feature of these guitars that gives them a unique sound is the ladder bracing. Of course, almost all modern guitars are X-brace. The ladder bracing gives it a big open feel, according to Todd, the builder, and that he says that's critical to getting that sound. So when you play a chord, it rings out. You get a nice, warm, open sound with a lot of overtones. Also, this particular model has a 6-pin bridge, pyramid bridge, where most of the old Stellas had tail pieces. Not always, but they usually had a tail piece with a floating type bridge. And Todd came up with this 6-pin design, which is nice because you don't have that huge 12-pin oversized bridge on the face of the guitar. That can't be good for the tone. And all his guitars have Adirondack tops and bracing. This particular one has a little rope binding. It gives you a choice of purfling and a rope rosette. And if you look at the back, there's also a rope center strip here. And about every guitar he builds is unique. You tell him what you want. I asked for this red stain. I thought that was kind of a different look on the back. And also another great feature of his guitars is the French polish. He uses a very thin finish, which gives a great tone compared to lacquer, which is generally a much heavier finish, and most builders charge quite a bit extra for a French polish, so it's very thin finish. As you can see, it's got the slotted headstock design, that classic look that the old Stellas had, and I got to tell you, it's very time consuming to change the strings on a 12-fret 12 string. So it's not the kind of thing you can do in about 15 minutes, but it's worth the trouble. These kind of cool vintage-looking tuners, the Ivoroid buttons. Another thing you want on a 12-string guitar, very wide nut, because you have obviously the courses of strings here. So you want a wide nut. This is 1 7/8. He gives you a choice between 1 3/4 and 2 inches. So 1 7/8 is a nice feel for me, and it has kind of a beefy, he gives you a choice of necks, V-neck or whatever. I asked for the national type neck, which is like a contemporary national resophonic guitar, and nice big feel, which I prefer. String spacing down here at the bridge is also wide, 2 7/16 inches, so it's about 2.5 inches wide, so you can really get those individual pairs of strings in there. So I first played a Fraulini guitar about 7 or 8 years ago. One of the local players here in Portland, Tom Schwenzer, had one, a very early model, It was a single-digit serial number, 03 or 05. One of the first ones Todd built, Angelina. And also, my friend Mary Flower lives here in Portland. She plays a 6-string Fraulini guitar. She came over to my house and she tried this out and was impressed with the quality. Every musician I know who's played the guitar loves it. It just has a great sound and feel to it. So she ordered that guitar from Todd and got it maybe about 2 years ago. And there's also a video on YouTube you can check out of her describing that guitar. And that's her main guitar. It's kind of a 00 size guitar, I would say, and really sounds good. So also another cool thing that Todd came up recently is he has these labels on the inside of a guitar designed by the great artist Robert Crumb. Robert sent him a mandolin from France to be repaired, and they worked out a deal where he designed this logo, and it's a beautiful look. That is Todd's grandmother, Angelina Fraulini Cambio, in that drawing there by Robert. And so that's where we got the name Fraulini from. It's his mother's maiden name. Okay, what else can I say about this guitar? So the 12-string, tuning it low is a big key to the sound those bluesmen got, which is very hard to do. To tune say a 25-inch scale, 25 and a half inch scale of a contemporary guitar with X bracing, to me, you're not going to get that authentic sound the blues guys got back in the 20s and 30s. And Stella guitars, the original 12 strings are very rare, very pricey, out of the price range of most working musicians. Paul Jeremiah played one for quite a few years. Not the kind of guitar you want to take on the road. So these are relatively affordable and great guitars for gigging. I use if you look, I've got an N-pin jack here, a K&K pickup inside. And I like the K&K pickups a lot. They have a warm, natural tone, and you really need a preamp to make them sound their best. I think I use an LR Baggs preamp with that. They have a nice warm tone. The K&K Pure Western, mounted under the bridge plate inside the guitar. So I'm going to do a tune here that Blind Willie played. I recorded several times through the years. A little slow blues, give you an idea of how these guitars sound in action here. It's in the key with the E position, so you get to hear that low C string here. A little slow blues Willie wrote called a Broke Down Engine Blues. Goes like this. Like a broke down engine, I ain't got no driving wheel. Feel like a broke down engine, I ain't got no driving wheel. If you've been down and lonesome, well, you know how a poor boy feels. Well, it's a lordy-lord, lordy-lordy-lord, lordy-lord. Lordy, lordy, lord. Well, I've been shooting craps and gambling, honey, and I done got broke. Yeah, I've been shooting craps and gambling, baby, and I done got broke. I pawned my .45 pistol and my best clothes and coat. I went down to my praying ground and I fell on bended knee. And I went down to my praying ground and I fell on bended knee. I ain't crying for no religion, give me back my good gal please. Well, if you give me my baby, I won't worry you no more. If you give me my baby, you know I won't worry you no more. You ain't gotta put her in my house, Lord, only leave her to my door. rapping on your door. Don't you hear me, honey? I'm knocking on your door. But now you hear me tapping. Yes, I'm tapping right across your floor. Feel like a broke down engine. I ain't got no drive at all. Feel like a broke down engine. I ain't got no drive at all. What makes me love my woman? She can really do the Georgia crawl. Well, it's a lordy-lord, lordy-lordy-lord, lordy-lord, lordy-lordy-lord. Let that chord ring out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet here. I got one thing I wanted to show point out was the size of the body. And in comparison with a Gibson LOO guitar here, it's fairly narrow body, 14.5 inches, but it has 12 frets to the body, where the neck meets the body at the 12 frets. So it gives you a little more air in there. And generally, when 12 frets of the body, it puts the bridge in the center, pretty much the center of the lower bout there. So here's the more comparison there. We got the Gibson LOO and the old Fraulini, almost the same width. You can see that long headstock, and look at the scale difference between the two. It's huge. 24 3/4 on the Gibson. Okay. Well, anyway, thanks for checking this video out, and you can check out Todd's designs there at fraulini.com. And I want to point out too that I'm not getting paid for this. This is just a little video to try to get the word out about his wonderful instrument. So thanks for tuning in.